has to arrange the matches. Young people can't decide for themselves.
Maybe she'll bring someone wonderful.
Someone interesting.
Someone well off.
And important. Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match. Find me a find, catch me a catch.
Fiddler on the Roof, and so it is such a beautiful story. It has such a story. It is not like the usual frothy musicals that we do, right? It's not only entertaining, it's about love, it's about tradition, and it's very much a part of our culture, Sri Lankan culture of proposals, proposed marriages, and then going against tradition, going against ethnicities, ethnic differences. So it is a story that is very close to our Sri Lankan hearts and our ethnicity, our religions and our multicultural dimensions. So I guess it is the most relevant thing that we could do at this stage of geopolitics, of politics in Sri Lanka, about tradition, and to show that love and peace actually conquers all.
Matchmaker, matchmaker, look through your book and make me a perfect match.
Matchmaker, matchmaker, I'll bring the veil. You bring the groom, slender and pale. Bring me a ring, for I'm longing to be the envy of all I see.
It's actually quite familiar, to say the least, but it's actually quite nice to be able to get back on stage, to go through the motions of production of this nature, this size, and of course there's always a very special place to be able to get back on stage for workshops. So I think it's just familiar but also exciting.
Motto, you were wonderful.
It was a miracle. It was a miracle. Wonder of wonders, miracle of miracles, God took a Daniel once again, stood by his side and miracle of miracles, walked him to the lion's den.
I think, like you said, I come from a family of 5, 2 siblings. I'm the oldest. My dad's a dancer, my mom's a dancer. I've been dancing for the past 16 years now, a Latin American and ballroom dancer. And I moved into theatre from school, and that was through dancing. And one of my bucket lists was actually to choreograph a play. I actually never imagined it would come this fast, but I actually want to be directed by Jay. That was on my bucket list, and when I got the call saying you're the choreographer for the play, it was crazy.
It's not my first time working with the workshop players actually. I did The Greatest Shows in 2018 and Antony and Cleopatra for Shakes in the Park also in 2018. But that being said, this is like the first full musical that I'm doing with the workshop players, and it's been hectic, but it's been a lot of fun, and it's been a crazy learning curve for me.
This is my first big production and with the workshop players, and it's been amazing. I've been learning a lot. It's exhausting, but I think because of the story, it's just like really nice to be a part.
For Papa, make him a scholar.
For Mama, make him rich as a king.
For me, well, I wouldn't holler if he were as handsome as anything.
So I play Golde, who's is Tevia's wife, and we have 5 daughters together. So we're a very traditional, close family, and because it's 5 girls at the moment, our main goal is now looking for suitable husbands for the eldest girl and the other 2 older daughters. So that's like the basis or the backing of the family, the main family unit at the moment, at the start of the play.
Hi, so my name is Suren. I'm the musical director for the Fiddler on the Roof and for the workshop players. And it's really great to be back in the theatre after a long time. We've come back with a full-length musical for the Colombo audiences. Since 2017, when we did My Fair Lady, we've not had a full-length musical, and it's great to see the cast coming back together, young people coming and joining the cast. So I think Colombo is in for a great time. It's been a while since people started coming to the theatre, especially after COVID. We've seen audiences in the theatres really drop. So we are hoping that with a big musical like Fiddler on the Roof, we'll bring back people to the theatre and really enjoy what has been one of the biggest classical musical productions that Broadway has ever seen.
Wonder of wonders, miracle of miracles, I was afraid that God would frown, but like he did so long ago in Jericho, God just made a wall fall down. When Moses softened Pharaoh's heart, that was a miracle.
The lovely thing about the workshop players is, like, I mean, we are in our 33rd year of existence, and this is my 55th year of theatre in Sri Lanka. The nicest thing is when you come back and then you have to deal with 90% new people, and that has been what the workshop players are about. We are more or less a nursery. We bring in new people, then they work with us, and most of the time 75 to 90%, and in this case 90% are absolutely new people to us. And the amount of young talent and who are willing to sacrifice time, their lives, their socializing, and get into drama and love it and sing and dance and act, and the family that has been formed as a result. And that is what is the main thing about the workshop players. Every production, it becomes one huge family.
Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match. Find me a find, catch me a catch. Night after night in the dark I'm alone, so find me a match of my own.
When God made the waters of the Red Sea part, that was a miracle too. But of all God's miracles, large and small, the most miraculous one of all.
I think both physically and emotionally it is very challenging, because you're first faced with the challenge of playing someone who's much older than you, because I have to play or portray someone who's in his 55, 60 year age limit. So trying to bring on those mannerisms and, you know, take the youth out of it, which is the physicality of it. But then on the emotional side of it also, you have the entire concept of having to understand the pains of a father, and also the more generic elements such as the pains of a man in society, and even having to transpose that back to 1905 and, you know, still understand how you have to deal with it as a man, as a father, as a patriarchy in 1905, and all those elements kind of jumbled up together is probably one of those more conceptually harder tasks to manage.
We only have one rabbi, and he only has one son. So why shouldn't I have the best?
Because you're a girl from a poor family.
The biggest challenge here was, I think we had a cast of, I wouldn't say challenge, but we have a cast of 90% new people who are new to stage, who are new to dancing, who are new to singing. So it was actually a blank canvas. And I always say, if you can walk, you can dance. And I think I've proven myself here. If you do come to watch the show, you will see what I mean. But so yeah, it's all about the research, you know, how you portray the movement into the scene, what type of emotion you're trying to express through dance. So I think that has been the challenging part, you know, getting them to understand why they do this move, how they do it, when they should do it, why they should look up, why they should look down. But it's been quite easy for me, because there's a vision which Jay wants, and I draw from that, and my job here is to bring that to life. Y'all will see what I mean if y'all do come and watch the show.
Honestly, we haven't had that many conflicts. I think we kind of really feed off each other. There's always an interesting perspective that each one of us kind of brings to the table of how we could take this line. What do you think Yenta is feeling in this instance? Or even going up to say, like, do you think when we're sharing the stage with this other character, do you think maybe this is what they mean. So it's been actually a really nice fusion of things when we've actually shared this role, and I personally like enjoyed acting with Chaiti and sharing this role, so I can't speak for Chaiti, but
No, it's been really nice. Like, there's a lot of teamwork. We work together, and like with the light cues or props and everything, I ask her everything to make sure that I'm okay. And so yeah, it's been nice. I'm happy that I'm sharing the role with her.
Red vodka! To us and our good fortune.
The most moving part of the show is, I guess, when tradition is broken and in a closely knit family, and it's a family about a father and a mother, a simple milkman, and a housewife and 5 daughters. And all 3 daughters, they break tradition, and that tears the parents apart. And not only amongst their own community, but against opposing communities. So it's like the ethnicities, different religions, and that's the most heartbreaking part of it. So like with the actors, we experience that story, but eventually it's because of love. Love brings about peace, and that's the most wonderful thing.
I think if at all, in no particular order, but I think the most important thing has been the fact that themes never change. Whether it's 1905 or 2024, you still see those sort of themes prevalent in either a wider part of society or in a more niche part of society, and you always see those themes being challenged. So I think that probably has been one of the biggest eye-openers for me with regards to this role. And I think personally also, this is my first chance at playing a lead role for workshop plays as well, and I think that has been the most rewarding for me, because being able to, like you said, play the protagonist and be the one that is the catalyst to all the scenes, and sort of carry the entire story along with the rest of the ensemble has been probably one of the biggest opportunities that I have gotten as well.
Is that out of a worthless lump of clay God has made a man today?
Being a part of the workshop plays has been always on my bucket list. From my small days, I've always come, watched, and it was something I wanted to do. Just finding the right time to do it was the issue for me. I am a mother of 3, so once my youngest was old enough, and then this kind of came at the right time, so I jumped into it the moment I was given the opportunity.
So directing the music for Fiddler on the Roof has been one of the things that I've had on a bucket list, because after having worked on some really iconic musicals like Sound of Music, Jesus Christ Superstar, Phantom of the Opera and Les Mis, Fiddler on the Roof was one of those iconic musicals that we hadn't done in all our 30 years. So it was something that we've been looking forward to. We've been planning this for a few years, and it's great that Cargills came forward to sponsor us, making us able to actually bring another mega musical back to stage. And it's been a privilege for all of us to be able to work on a full-length musical that is as heartwarming and entertaining as The Fiddler on the Roof. So don't miss this one.
The most moving part of the show is, I guess, when tradition is broken and in a closely knit family, and it's a family about a father and a mother, a simple milkman, and a housewife and 5 daughters. And all 3 daughters, they break tradition, and that tears the parents apart. And not only amongst their own community, but against opposing communities. So it's like very, the ethnicities, different religions, and that's the most heartbreaking part of it. So like with the actors, we experience that story, but eventually it's because of love. Love brings about peace, and that's the most wonderful thing.
It's definitely being quite interesting, to say the least, because not only do you have a cast that is coming in at 90% new, as in fresh off the boat, but you also have now a new vector, which is the fact that they are coming after a drought of about 3 years of a theatre as a function of the pandemic. So you see a completely different take, outlook, approach, if you want to call it, to theatre that they take, and how we started learning when we got on stage, like you said, in 2006, 2008, whatever. The methods and approaches that we took are now, you realize, the old ways, as they say it in the play as well.
Wonder of wonders, miracle of miracles, God took a tailor by the hand, turned him around, and miracle of miracles led him to the promised land. When David slew Goliath, yes, that was a miracle.
So like my favorite thing is that like Yenta is just fantastic. She has absolutely no filter, and she can say whatever she wants to say and actually get away with. I mean, she's a 65 to 70-year-old woman, and she's absolutely always in her element, and she's eccentric. So I love the fact that she just says what she has to say and then thinks about it maybe later, if she ever thinks about it. So
Yeah, she just talks a lot and lot and lot. It's a lot of energy, but it's really fun. She's a really fun character. And yeah.
The music for Fiddler on the Roof is something that everybody knows. People have, all age groups, young and old, have heard the tunes like If I Were a Rich Man, Sunrise, Sunset, Tradition. Those are all staples that everybody knows. So being able to stage the full version of that song in its context with the storyline has been a great experience, to be able to make those pieces of music that everybody knows come alive in the way that the creators originally wanted it. It's not just a pop orchestra, it's not just a bunch of people standing on stage and singing, but you get to see the entire musical come to life. And that has been really rewarding for me, because it is one of those things that we've dreamed of doing for many years.
When God gave us manna in the wilderness, that was a miracle too.
I think for any audience member or potential audience member who hasn't got their tickets yet, if you need conviction as to why you need to come and watch this, not only are you supporting arts to come back into the mainstream and be part of a person's social calendar, not only that, but also be able to enjoy a production that is both thematically quite relevant in terms of, like I mentioned about the patriarchy and matriarchy and challenging norms.
So working with Jerome has been a real honor and privilege. I've learnt a lot. He's great to work with. No, I kind of came into it expecting, because lots of people are scared of him, but it hasn't been that bad actually. Maybe because I'm used to a lot of shouting, being a parent myself, but he's a legend, and learning from someone like him has been a real great opportunity for me. So I am grateful and thankful for being able to work with him.
But of all God's miracles, large and small, the most miraculous one of all, is the one I thought could never be.
So come and experience tradition, love, and how love and peace conquer all.
It's the story of the milkman Tevye and the challenges that he faces both in his beliefs, in his traditions, in his family values and expectations, and how he faces and overcomes them one step at a time. Tevye.
Fiddler on the Roof is happening from the 4th to the 13th of October at the Lionel Wen Theatre.
If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, come to the Lionel Wen. The box office is open.
If you buy enough tickets, maybe we'll make you a really good match.
Fiddler on the Roof has something for everyone. It's something the whole family can come and watch and enjoy.